today is Tuesday, and it is the August the 14th. I forgot to change the date. And we are going to be working on division here in a little bit. First, we're going to go over the math workshop. Today's math workshop is we are working on number 4 and 5. So I am just over here going to show you number 4. I'm going to kind of scoot over here and do it. And like I said, I'm still working on how to get it to fit the paper. Okay, so number 4, we should be doing, it looks like 359 times 33. Bless you, bless you. Okay, so starting out, the top row should be 1,077. Now, there is another 3, so we got to remember to put the place value holder. Now, the good thing is, since it's another 3, it's the same exact numbers. Add them up. And your answer should be 11,847. 11,847. Any questions on that one? I don't mind. Check multiplication by row. When you do this, check it by row. If these 2 rows are right and this is wrong, that just means you added wrong. Okay? Everybody good? Okay, the second one here, this number 5 here, there's 24 hours in each day. How many hours are in 2 weeks? Now, how many days are in 1 week? 7. So in 2 weeks it is, I heard it, it's okay, 7. So in 2 weeks it's 14. You got it. So we're going to do 24 times 14 because it's 14 days. I got, let's see. $336 what? Hours. There you go. Hours in 2 weeks. Make sure you give me some kind of word after it. You could put hours in 2 weeks, but make sure you give me some kind of word. The other thing is, there was a question up here. What operation did you use? We should use multiplication. For sure. We do not want to add 24 14 times. We would just be there forever. So, it is faster, it is easier, something. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is go over last night's homework, Monday night's homework. It was 6 problems. It was multiplication, and I think add and subtract. It looked like this when I found it. Here we go. Looks like this. So if you wonder what you're looking for. And it was just the one day of quick review, add, subtract, multiply. Yes. Okay. What's up? Just kind of peeking over stage. Today is what I'm calling an effort grade. See if you can find it. See it. Monday night. Okay. Most nights the homework is. Oh, I didn't know you had one. Most nights the homework is somewhere between 5 and 10 problems. Shouldn't be like a bunch, but some.
I forgot to do this. GRC gave me extra work.
All I know is this, guys. 6 problems. We can all do 6 problems. Yes. We've got to be able to do 6 problems. Okay, got it? So, tomorrow I'll be checking more for a right or wrong answer type grade. Today I'm just kind of eyeballing. I'm kind of see if you did all 6 or not. Listen, you could do it in the morning when you get off the bus. You could do it, of course, last night. You all had it before lunch, so I'm kind of hoping you did it yesterday during quarter time. Okay? So, here we go. Let's look at these answers. Let's see, right here. Here we go. So, number 1. Hopefully you got 9,748. Monday night's homework. Okay? Addition's usually been fine unless you copied it wrong or just didn't line it up right. Okay. Number 2. 7,358. Now this one, I've had a few kids miss it just because of borrowing. Listen, always check subtraction. Do you want me to work it out? I don't mind. Me too. Okay, so look. I will work it out right here. The number is 8,341 minus 983. Okay. Most, it's borrowing, and you just kind of have to slow down and do it step by step. So first, can we do 1 take away 3? No. We're going to go to one neighbor. We're going to go to that 4. He's got 4 apples. If I take one from him, he's got 3, and that 1 is now an 11. What's 11 minus 3? 8. Okay, so that's the first step. Now, let's switch colors and go to the next one. Can we do 3 minus 8? No, we're going to borrow from the 3. If we take one from him, he's got 2 left, and that 3 there is now a 13. 13 minus 8, 5. Okay. The next step, can we do 2 minus 9? Nope. So we are going to borrow from the 8. You can only jump, here's what happens with subtraction a lot. A lot of kids jump around borrowing all over the place. You just start marking stuff off, slinging ones as I call it. It is very step-oriented. You have to just do one at a time. So that's why I'm doing 2 minus 9. Doesn't work. So I go to the 8. I borrow 1 from 8. It is now a 7. And the 1 I borrowed goes right next to that 2. 12 minus 9, 3, and then just 7. It's very step-oriented. You kind of have to take it slow. Okay? Check it by adding. You would add 7,358 to 983, and you should get the top number. Okay, we good on that one? Okay, going to number 3. Let's see what we got. On number 3, I got 56. You got that one, I think. I'm hearing a lot of yeses. Woohoo! 56. Uh-huh. You good? Okay. Number 4. Start with multiplying. Okay, this is only a 1-digit multiplier there, so 26,775. Everybody good on that one? Listen, this is the stuff we're kind of assuming you know. If you're not, if something's really wrong, come talk to me. I don't mind. At all. Okay. Number 5. This is where our 2-digit multiplying started. We multiplied times 85. So, the final answer is down here, 77,520. If anybody missed it, check it by row, okay? And listen, you check it by, please listen guys, you check it by row, which means in multiplying. Check, if you got the answer wrong, check this row first. Whoops, we're going to try something here. Okay. Still recording. Okay, we're going to check this row first. So you would literally check 4560. Then you check, did you put the placeholder right there? And check that row. Okay? If you have this row correct, that means you got all the 5s right. If you have this row correct, that means you got all the 8s right. So if your answer is still wrong, all it is that your addition going down isn't correct. Okay? It helps us know, do we really know how to multiply, or are we, what are we messing up on? Anybody need me to help you on that one? You want me to do it? Okay. You want me to work it out? Okay. So, I'm going to try here. Here we go. With this goofy pen. The pen is the part I'm trying today. We've got 912 times 85. Okay, so I'm going to start with just the 5. I'm going to do 5 times 2, and I get 10. Okay, now I'm going to do 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6, and then 5 times 9 is 45. Yes. So we good on that row? How I got that row? Yeah? Okay. Now, because I move over to this 8, I need a placeholder. I need something sitting right here because it's really not an 8, it's an 80. Okay? 8 times 2, 16, carry a 1. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And then 8 times 9 is 72. Most kids who've missed it have just had a different number than 72. Okay. Then we add, going straight down, we get 0, 12, 15, 7, and 7. Does that help a little bit? Okay. Listen, it just takes practice. One thing you can do is, I do not mind. If you're doing homework, check it with a calculator. Check it with a parent. I don't mind. Whatever works to help you get better at it. Okay? The last one here, I want to show you or kind of point out something before I show you the answer. I want you to check, because most of you did the right kind of math. What kind of math do you do on this number 6? Addition. But I want you to check something. Did you do 4 numbers? Meaning, there is a 15, an 8, an 18, and some kids left out the 5 on accident. Listen, I hate that math has reading in it, but make sure you read the whole problem. So if you got 41, it's because you left out the 5. The final answer is 46. Okay? So just an addition problem. Everybody good? Okay. So yesterday we did a little just review. Add, subtract, multiply. Today we're going to start our learning target of I can solve division problems. You started division last year. Most of you. Some of you might have only done a little bit of division. Some of you may have done a ton of division. Okay. We are going to work on getting division using what's called the standard algorithm, otherwise known as the good old-fashioned way of doing division. We're going to put it in the house, as I call it. Yesterday we took notes on notebook paper. Today we actually just made some notes for you. We were kind of hoping it might help you out a little bit. Okay? We're going to fill in these notes. Oh, I forgot to say, put your classwork homework from last night behind classwork homework and notes. Like, click it in there. Click it in there. You're welcome. Okay. So what it is today, we just decided we would make you notes. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we write them down on notebook paper. It just kind of matters. Now, the one situation is this, that the other math classes had done, yesterday they did 4 vocab words. We only did 3. So we need to add one word, which is factor. And I've tried to put it at the top, but as you can see, it kind of cut off part of the F. So you might want to kind of fill it in. But we've talked about multiplying. I'm going to try to fill that in there. Okay. And factors, I think of multiplication tables. Okay. This is kind of a goofy little saying, but it's a way to help you remember. This says factories make products. P-R-O-D, products. Okay. So what this means is, if you think about a factory, A factory might make my t-shirt. A factory might make my jeans. A factory makes cars. They make things. They make products. They make objects, okay? In multiplication, we use factors to make the answer. And the answer is called a product. It's just a goofy way to remember it, okay? Here are two other definitions. It means a factor is two numbers being multiplied, like 2 times 3, 7 times 8, okay? Or you can even say a number that evenly divides a larger number. So if I say like 8 divided by 2, 2 is a factor. 10 divided by 5, 5 is a factor. Okay? That's just something I needed to kind of throw in from yesterday. Okay? So today's notes, there's a date. Here we go. Moving on down. Okay. We got a few more vocabulary because we are starting with division. Okay? So, the first thing is quotient. Here we go. It says the result when the dividend is what by the divisor? Divided. It's kind of silly because it keeps using the same word, but that's okay. Divided by the divisor. So make sure you fill in divided by the divisor. We've kind of left some little blanks for you to fill in, but it's better than copying the whole thing. Divided by the divisor. Okay. Can you wait till after math? I'll send you the note up there. Okay, but we don't want to miss class right now. In the class. We'll get you there. The next one, we've got dividend, okay? It is, the quotient is the answer. The dividend is a number that is being what by another number? Divided. It means split. You use the same word again. It's just the way it works. Divided or split by another number. So make sure you fill in divided. Okay. Here is this part. Dividend is the one that what? It's a goofy way of remembering this. Ends. It is the way, it is what ends, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay. And the best way I can explain this is by kind of moving down a little bit. Okay. So if you will look down here, where there's a goofy little weird line drawn, okay? Most of us have called this, we call it in the house or out of the house. It is just a way of dividing. These words that we were just talking about, they're all in here. Which one is in the house? The dividend or the quotient?
The dividend.
Dividend, yes. Now, I've always remembered it. So the way this sheet is saying is that it's at the end of the problem. It's the dividend. I always said E-N, I kind of think of in like I-N, like it's in the house. I don't know. That's just the way I've always remembered it. The dividend is in the house. The answer is the quotient. It's what's on top. The quotient is on top. Make sure you fill this in, guys, because it's kind of hidden down here in the middle. So we got dividend is in the house. Quotient is up top. What is on the outside that we haven't talked about? Divisor. Yes, divisor. So right here is going to be our divisor. Whoops, there we go. Divisor. Now, they kind of have a goofy way to remember this. If you'll look at this, there's a little sentence right up here. it says divisor is at the, what do you think, if this is in the house, what do you think this thing is that ends in an OR? What do you walk through? Door. I've never learned it this way, but that's, whatever works. Divisor is at the door of the house. So divisor is at the door. That's just another way to remember it, if it'll help you at all. Okay. The exact definition is up here. It says the number by which the dividend is divided. So I'm going to highlight a few things just to make sure you got it all. So start right here at divisor. Make sure you got dividend and divided. Okay. You might want this little door thing if it'll help you. I always just knew dividend was in the house, so the other D word was outside the house, but if that helps you, use it. Okay? These are the standard algorithms, or the way we're going to write them. Okay, make sure that you know where these are located at, each word, the quotient, the dividend, and the divisor. Now, writing this thing horizontally, and I want you to see something. Right down here, you can see these are how 6th grade teachers write the problems. You've got to be able to go back and put it from here into that, just like in the house, so we can work them out. The key is it's kind of like written backwards, meaning, okay, we've got the dividend is always written first. It is divided by the divisor. I'm trying to make it bigger. Dividend divided by divisor equals the quotient. So dividend divided by divisor equals quotient. We've had that as a quiz question before, I won't lie. Filling in which word goes where. And we've had that as a quiz question, which one goes where. So be careful. As you go into math in the middle and the high school, more and more vocabulary is used. We don't just say this number or that number. Like, we start saying words like quotient. And you got to know them. Okay. So, the key is this. Some of you really know division. Some of you I need to kind of work with a few minutes. So let's just talk real quick. There is what I'm going to call kind of silly way to remember the steps of division. And it goes with these letters. Do you remember it? What is it? You got it. Now, you might want to write it down if you need it. It is does stands for divide. The M for McDonald's is for multiply. S is for sell. Okay, it means subtract. Okay. C is for cheese, which is for check. And B is for burgers, which is for bring down. Bring down. And we're going to talk about the steps. Okay? Now, some of you may need these. Some of you may have this already memorized. But if you get confused on what to do next, we just wanted you to kind of have that little device on the side of the paper. Now, for the examples, here we go. We're starting out with just number 1 here. The first thing is you're going to want to take it written horizontally, and we're going to want to put it what I call in the house. So, let me kind of leave my steps up there. Okay, so we're going to put what number should go in the house? The dividend, which is the first one, which is 298. Then on the outside is the 7. Now, I've had the question already this year. Well, isn't the biggest number always in the house?
Yeah.
No, not in 6th grade. Later down the line, we're going to be doing decimals and things of that sort, and the bigger number may be outside the house. So, we're just kind of getting started today. Okay? Now, I personally do this kind of using fingers to cover up some steps. I start out by asking myself, if I have 2 apples, can 7 go into 2? No. Okay, because I only have a group of 2. I only have 2 apples. I cannot make a group of 7. So, I'm going to put a 0 there. Okay, I'm going to go over one step. Can 7 go into 29?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I want you to think. Dividing 29 by 7. How many 7s are in 29? 4. You got it. So 7, that was my division. 7 into 29. Now I'm going to use multiply. 7 times 4 is 28. Okay. The next step is subtract. For cell, yes, that is right. Okay. Now, when it says check your work, I need you to really learn something here. If that number down here is bigger than your divisor, we got a problem. Always check. Make sure the math is right, but also make sure that number is smaller than the 7. Okay, so it is smaller, so the next step is B for bring down. I'm going to bring down the 8. Now I've got 18. How many 7s can go into 18? 2. I put a 2 right here. I'm going to multiply. 7 times 2, 14. I'm going to subtract, and I get 4. Okay. Now, I need everyone to stop right here because we've all done some different stuff in the last few years with remainders. We are not in 6th grade doing the cute little R anymore for remainders. Okay. We are also still just working on whole numbers. So with whole numbers, we are not going to add a decimal or any zeros. Kind of weird. We're not going to do that either. We're going to make what's called a fractional or a fraction as a remainder. Okay. You got it. So, we're going to take our remainder. We're going to put it on top. So, we're going to bring that 4 up. And watch. It's going to be our top of our fraction. And 7 is going to be the bottom of our fraction. So our quotient or our final answer is 42 and 4/7. Okay. We would talk simplifying, but not yet. We're getting there, but not yet. Okay. So your remainder makes the top. The divisor makes the denominator. Everybody good so far? Okay. Let's do the next one. Okay. The next one, number 2 here. What number should be in the house? 300. 45 outside the house. Now, here we go. Can 45 go into 3? No. So I'm going to put a 0. Can 45 go into 30? No. Now, can it go into 300? Yes. Now, I want you to look at something. Since this is our first day doing this with the big numbers, bigger numbers. problem, we don't know our 45s tables. I don't know my 45s tables. It is what I call a guessing game. And the guessing, you want to try to what I call kind of round it to another number and start a guessing game. So, 45 is kind of close to 50. How many 50s are in 100s? 2. So, I'm hearing the number. What's your guess? What do you think it might be? 6. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't want you to write it yet on the exact math problem. I would not, unless you know for sure, put it right here. I would go over to the edge of my paper. I call this like your scratch paper. And do 45 times 6, if that's your guess. Now, I would work it out, and I get 270. Now, listen, hint, hint from Miss Donahue. Just leave this here. Don't erase it. If you erase it, then let's say we're checking it tomorrow and we don't know if we got, something happened. If you leave it there, I can figure out what your mistake was. So just leave it. I know why it's there. It's just scratch work, okay? Now, if we think 6 is it, I'm going to put a 6 up here. And I'm going to, 45 times 6, I'm going to write 270. My next step is subtraction. And I get 30. Is 30 smaller than 45?
Yes.
Yes. Then you checked it and it's correct. Is there anything to bring down? No. Okay. So Miss Donahue has said, for right now, we're not adding any zeros or decimals. We're going to just make this a fractional answer. Now, it is 30 over what? 45. Okay. Now, I've had a few kids today, and I want you to realize that you are correct if you are trying to reduce this thing or simplify it. I want you to think about it. What goes into 30 and 45?
15.
5 does and 15 does. So, if you do this by 15, and I'm just trying to show y'all something because I want you to know your brain is on the right track. What is 30 divided by 15? 2. What is 45 divided by 15? 3. So this answer, if you knew it, if you already knew it, would be 6 2/3. So if you got 6 2/3, that is awesome. It's kind of like you went an extra step, and that is fine. If you already knew that and you knew how to do it, go for it. If you're not sure about simplifying yet, don't worry. Just give me that original answer, okay? Now, tonight's work, or tonight's homework, is 6 division problems. Listen, I'm giving you a few minutes in class to start it. Please start it right now. In fact, I've already got an answer key partially made. Yeah, put that other sheet, behind notes. Put that behind notes. And then this is the classwork homework. And I'm going to show it, you are welcome, on the projector. Just a second. Just in case you're at home and dying to see it. That was notes right there. It's behind classroom homework. Any math work just kind of goes behind notes / classwork homework. We tried to make it easier this year, but I don't know if it helped. So, this one can go behind notes and classwork homework, the one we just did. This can also go behind notes and classwork homework. Excuse all my pens. Okay. So this is the homework for tonight. It is on Tuesday. If you're at home and needing this, problem number 1, 2, 3, and there's 4. Okay. And then 5 and 6. And I'll kind of shrink it down. Maybe that'll. Okay. So if you've lost the worksheet, feel free to work it out on notebook paper and bring it into class tomorrow. Okay. We'll be checking this for an accuracy grade, like correct answers. Thank you. Stop. We're having a problem because I can't get it to stop because it is not liking my pen. Let's try that. And it's still recording. This is my life. As you can see, I can draw all over the board, but I can't stop the recording. This is, well, it won't work because it's thinking I have a pen. So, you know what? Let's try this. Let's just go back to that.